Express engines. Known to be a fan favorite amongst many. However, there are many flaws in it. Many in it. Why don't we go over them? I'll start with the story. The first story in the lineup is called Blowback. It starts with Percy stopping at Dry Airfield as he sees Harold with some camera crew. He asks what it is about, and Harold says that they are getting ready to go to the mountains to go film. After that, we go to Tinner's Sheds, where we see Henry getting prepared as well, as he will be taking the train that will be getting filmed in the mountains. He worries about the power system, which his driver explains that there is no need as they will be the only engines running. They meet Harold and the camera crew, and the director tells them just what they want. They start off. However, to Henry's liking, Harold gets too close. It gets to a point where Harold is right on top of Henry, causing Henry to have a blowback in his firing box. After that, Harold decides to swoop up again. When they get to the station, Harold is most apologetic about it. The passengers complain endlessly about it. However, at the end of the day, the Fat Controller reassures Henry that it wasn't his fault, and that Harold has been grounded indefinitely. He then walks away, and then Henry notices that Gordon is not saying a word about it. However, Gordon is having his own thoughts, which we will find the answers to in later stories.
Hi, hello, hi. I'm on a channel. Holy crap! How did I get here? I don't know, but wait. What do I have to do? I have to explain Wonder of the Works by that guy. Oh no! Okay, so what happens in this fuck ass story? Henry go to work with an S at the end, not a Z. Fuck you, because he need inspection on his fucking. I don't know. And oh my god, I'm gonna fucking come. Sorry guys, the boogeyman came in, and the fucking diesel number 2848, I don't know, whatever his name is, tells him about this story about this really dilapidated fucking tissue box over here that I got sneezed on a couple of times, and Sir Tom had like, ooh, me want that, I want that, mama, I want that one. So then in the most cinematic way possible, fucking Dan Schneider fucking cinematic way possible, he gets this thing, J.K. Rowling styled thing, gets taken to work with a Z this time, and is restored and is going to be ran on the main line. I know, very skibbity. And they were like, hey, we have a name for this guy. You know what his name is? And then they open the detox box, and it shows it shows the name Soda Castle. They're just like, we picked out this name, so what do you think? And then Sir Tom like, this name fucking sucks. Yeah, how do you like your new name? Oh, I like my new name. My name is Soda Castle. And then like keep Soda Castles all over the place. So then Henry goes home at the end of the video, and then the Hogwarts Express, aka Mid, shows up and goes like, hey, I'm here for an inspection. My name is Soda Castle. And then he like fucking, I don't know, Jewish noses all over the place. Well, what do you want from me? I don't even want to be here.
Once I see that nigga, I'm gonna fucking beat him. Hey guys, Terry Trust Studios here. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh yeah, today we are gonna be talking about parent problem. Oh no, drastic thing. Something happened, bad thingy, yeah. Okay, so it starts off with Gordon, just doing his usual thing, I guess. Well, actually, this is not really his usual thing. He's all mopey, like, all that stuff. He's like
thinking about his status on the railway, like the freaking fate of his future. And the other engines, like, one night are like, "Hey, dude, what's going on with you? There's gonna be a new timetable thingy. My work is going to be shared with another engine. Yes, indeed. I'm Gordon." And then James mocks him. "Oh, you going to semi-retirement? What a way to support your friend." And then Duck over here is like, "You know what? I heard the Fat Controller has found a castle." And Gordon's like, Don't be stupid, you fucking idiot. Driver says a castle is a stone. No, fat. You'll see soon enough." So the next day, all the engines are like waking up. They hear a whistle. Wait, is that the Hogwarts end? Odin Wait, no, he's green. Here's Castle. Yep. There he is. And then the Fat Controller introduced him and stuff. Then later on they were discussing at the sheds. And the engines are being assholes to Gordon, like, you stuck and all that stuff. They're just not letting him, like, breathe. And then, you know, James has his own little fiasco where, like, he gets sidetracked 2 times. And then this operator who was operating the forklift targeted him at the harbor. And then he's all blue. Yeah, he's blue. Yeah, and then we don't see him afterwards. And Gordon, one evening, puffs back into Natford Station. And the Fat Controller is like, "You know what, Henry's doing this, James is out, you're getting demoted to Light Trains, Castle's taking the express." And then Duck the Glazer arrives. "Oh, you're looking really stupid right now, my guy." All I just gotta say is, fuck Castle, fuck Duck, fuck Gordon's bitch ass friends, and fuck Castle again. The end.
To summarize this episode, Gordon is all angry and petty that Castle is taking the express and not him, and so he yaps about this to Duck and Oliver, and they just tell him, "Shut up, bro, it's not that deep." And then we got the new Natford track plan over here with the random Class 08 shunters, and then we see the Derby guy, you know, the dude with the hat in another scene, and he starts talking about whistle codes, I think. The truck is messing him up. I kind of forgot what happened here. And then Gordon is, you know, getting devious ideas because he just hates Castle. He wants this dude dead. He wants him hung. So he then comes up to Castle one day and is like, "Yo, did you hear about this, like, whistle code where you gotta, like, whistle 4 times for a path?" And then Castle's like, "Oh, really? I didn't know that. Thanks, man." Obviously, he's lying out of his ass. That code doesn't exist. So Castle believes it like an idiot and, you know, stops by the junction with the express and whistles 4 times like an idiot. So then the dude comes up and says, "Hey, you good, buddy?" "Oh yeah, I'm just waiting for a road." That's the wrong code. That doesn't exist." "Oh, I'm stupid." And then Topham, you know, tells him, "Yes, Castle, you're stupid. You should know your whistle codes." And then Castle's all angry at Gordon, like, "Oh, you tricked me." And Gordon's like, "No, I didn't." You know, because he's a rage baiter and he's petty. So then Gordon's like, "Okay, I'm sorry. Good night, everybody." And, you know, Castle's like, "I hate this guy now." And, you know, there's a feud between these two now. And, I think that's it.
Keeping Up with Castle isn't just bad. It might be one of the worst Thomas fan stories I've ever had the displeasure of watching. And the fact it gets so much praise, yeah, that just kind of blows my mind. Let me explain why. Alright, since I'm apparently legally obligated to do this bit for my segment, here's the summarization. Hooray. So basically, the story opens up with Gordon and Castle mean-mugging each other, while the narrator explains that ever since the whistle code incident, the two have been on bad terms. Gordon is basically left alone to sulk during his work, possibly contemplating every life choice and failure he's ever made, and, you know, like how pointless it all feels, but, you know, I don't know what to worry about. While Castle is coddled by his biggest soldier, I mean Duck, and Henry in the yards. Duck tells Castle his best revenge he can seek on his singular adversary Gordon is to live his best life and not worry about Gordon's pettiness. Which, in all fairness to this, absolute unit right here, that's not bad life advice. Like, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. That's not, bad. That is something Duck probably would say. I just don't like how it's, also coupled with the fact that he just glazes Castle for absolutely no reason. Other than he's Great Western. But of course, for someone as dim-witted as Castle, it goes in one ear and out the other. Absolute cinema. Afterward, Gordon just kind of bums around at Knapford with Derby in a filler scene. Yeah, that's really it for that scene. I'm gonna be real with you guys, I don't really care for Derby. He just kind of feels like if you merged Paxton and Richard into one character and called it a day. If you've seen Percy, or Peter Sam, or Paxton, you've basically seen this character a million times already. There is nothing interesting to talk about with him. So, I don't care if you like Derby, alright? I don't. He sucks. Moving on. Gordon, Castle, and Oliver talk, and by talk, I mean that age-old, mean-spirited banter. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I'm gonna be real, this is just, I'll save this for, my actual, critique section, but while it's not, as bad as it could be here, it's just, I don't know, it's just, the typical, character banter, characters making fun of each other thing. There's nothing really inherently wrong with this one. I think this is, the only, one of the few times it's just handled right. Or at least, it makes sense. But don't get used to it. It's not gonna last that long. It's gonna get worse from here. That's beside the point. Back to the thing before I'm executed by the guy. Cheeky, yeah. Subscribe to him, I guess. Ooh. Then, the infamous scene. The one you've all likely seen of Gordon crashing out at Elsbridge. In the rain, as you do. Yeah, this scene isn't it. I'm sorry. I'll go over more of the stuff in the critique section, but, in general, I just don't like it. It's if you wanted to have, the whole, thing of, a character misunderstanding another character, or another character accidentally moving another character in a darker direction, you can do that just fine. That isn't really a problem. The problem itself is just how it's executed here. The idea behind this scene is that Thomas kind of obliviously pushes Gordon to the edge, and then that sets Gordon off to, fucking try to kill Castle or whatever, but here, even if you're going with the dim-witted Thomas interpretation, this doesn't really fit. It just kind of it feels mean-spirited, Thomas is trying to be, rage-baiting Gordon. But yeah, after unintentionally sending Gordon into a panic, Gordon challenges Castle to a race. Castle, of course, accepts. For clarification, just to reiterate, just to repeat, if you will, the two mutually agree to race after some minor rage bait from Gordon. Keep that in your handy-dandy notebook, it'll be important for later. The two race. Gordon literally has to stop at Walesford for his passenger services, and Castle wins by default, essentially meaning that Gordon just kind of forfeited the race. And, which also makes sense because, Castle is the express engine. Oh, I see what you did there. Basically, Edward goes off on Gordon for being a disgrace, everyone leaving out the Castle bit of the equation, as one does, which in Edward's case is fair enough, because he didn't see the agreement part of the situation, but, Gordon's crew act like this is entirely Gordon's fault, when, if Castle just refused and listened to Duck's words of wisdom, this wouldn't have happened either. Gordon and Castle are mutually at fault here, but this will be ignored for the entire rest of the series, pretty much. So, absolute cinema. But in the next scene, when Sir Topham Hatt is chewing out Gordon, they don't mention it! They don't say anything about Castle being at fault for this either. It's just oh my god, Gordon, you fucking suck. Look what you've done. You have raced in the rain. That is dangerous for railroad safety. And then Gordon's I'm sorry, sir. No one mentions the fact that Castle agreed to the race. Now, is Gordon at fault for instigating this? Yes, of course. I'm not saying Gordon's oh my god, Gordon's 100% right in this situation and Castle is just the evil boogeyman. But what I am saying is that while Gordon is playing a role in some of this, the other half of the equation is Castle's fault. Like, Castle is the one being an asshole for a good chunk of the story. Oh, and then Derby shows up for like 1 minute. I mean, again, I do not care for him. He can fall off the side of the Empire State Building tomorrow, and I would not shed a tear. Anyways, yeah, that was a summary.
To summarize the finale, Gordon and Castle basically bitch and moan towards each other in the sheds. They keep everybody awake, so the other engines are like, have a fucking race to prove who's the best. Castle and Gordon each have a time trial. Castle does it all and fine, of course, in perfection fucking style, and everybody glazes him. So it's Gordon's turn. Gordon's trundling down the main line, steam bursts from his cylinders, and his driver tells him to stop. Gordon's like, no, it's fine, and then he breaks down and stops at Crowman's gate. He doesn't fucking make it. And then his driver's like, damn, if only you got your new boiler. And Gordon's like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm getting a new boiler? I'm getting an overhaul? Why didn't you tell me? Oh, lol, we were keeping a secret for you, sorry. And then we get to the apology, and it's just like, Gordon is brought back to Timoth's sheds for some reason. Duck and James just continue insulting the shit out of him and glazing Castle again. Topham arrives, and then he's like, Gordon, Castle, kiss now and make up because I need you to pull this express train tomorrow. And so Gordon and Castle just say sorry to each other. They pull the train, yada yada yada. Gordon is sent to the works. Then we get teased for the next saga, Brad the American Engine.
Could you please give us your name?
I'm Soda Castle.
Yeah, I came in with the saw. Ooh, yeah, I came in with the saw. Bitch, I play red raw. Yeah, bitch, I play red raw. Yeah, I came in with the saw.
Alright, here's a bonus one, because I know people in the comments will be bouncing on my dick if I don't do this one. So this story, it starts when we learn there's a new harbor expansion. Yes, the new Blue Train of Friends update. And, of course, when it comes to the new Blue Train of Friends update, it needs Percy, the small engine. Because of course it does. And one day, Jeffrey Epstein, the castle engine, is stopped at Ellsbridge Station. And he's like, hey man, what the fuck, man? Why am I being held up, man? And then like the Diesel, and Shaggy the Diesel's like, man, there's a special coming through. And it's being pulled by a tank engine, because that's so important. And then he's like, and then Jeffrey's like, what the fuck, nigga? I'm gonna kill that nigger when I get to the big station. So then Jeffrey Epstein makes it to the big station, and then like after he does some shing shong, and he's like moving around, then fuck ass Durbick, the fucking dumbass Diesel, he's talking to the person, like person the Western engine, yeah, person the Western engine, and then Jeffrey Epstein over here is just like, Western you say? And then he goes over and makes small chat because he loves Western engines. He loves the Western engine. He tells him, "Oh, we gotta do things the Great Western way." And then the station master tells Jeffrey Epstein, "Hey, can you tell Percy that he needs to go down to Thomas's Harbor and collect some truck bobbers?" And Jeffrey's like, "Sure, I'd get him to do that." So then, Jeffrey Epstein purposefully gives Percy the wrong information to go down to the harbor on Duck's branch line because he likes being a colonizer and he thinks Percy belongs in the western section of the island. So Percy's like, I shouldn't do that. It was like Jeffrey Epstein's like, no, you shouldn't disobey orders. You should go down to the harbor on Duck's branch line. And then Percy's like, oh, okay, whatever you say, Jeffrey Epstein. So then Percy hurries his ass all the way down to the harbor there, and Oliver's like, hey man, what are you doing? And Percy's like, well, Jeffrey Epstein told me to come down here. And then Oliver's like, well man, that's not true. Why don't you have a drink? You look tired. And then after that, Castle makes it back to Neckhard Station, where Bark, the diesel engine, and Duck are. And he's like, oh, hey Castle, and then they're like, oh, what happened next? Fuck, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, he's like, they realize the mistake, and Jeffrey Epstein realizes the mistake. He's like, oh no, I made an oopsie. Then Percy storms in pissed as shit because Jeffrey Epstein wasted his fucking time, and and now he got sent to the wrong harbor where he didn't collect the trucks he was told to bring. So now he's really pissed, and Castle explains, oh, you're a great Western, and then Bear's like, I thought you were praising me. He's like, no, I just thought Percy was a different kind of Western. I just thought it was misfortune. Crazy as shit to say, but you know what? Let's laugh it off. Yeah, because everyone laughs it off at the end, especially when one of the diesels, the other diesel, I don't remember her name, just came down and said, I had to do your work, and then everyone still laughs it off, and then she has to take the train away. Yeah, such a great story, guys. Now we get into the portion where we talk about why Express Engines isn't as good as everyone hyped it up to be. There are two other people who have their own opinions, so I will let them go first before me, because it gets way more into detail, and of course it won't be scripted, so you'll hear my genuine raw crash outs probably about. It'll definitely be a crash out in the middle part, so I'll let them take it away, and then you'll hear me again at the end. So let's get into the reasons. These are probably going to be long, so why don't you grab some snacks while you're at it.
Alright, now let me be clear. Gordon. His treatment in the story is downright appalling. And look, I'm not a Gordon simp, I don't blindly defend any one character, but here, the writing just completely drops the ball. See, Gordon is a tricky character to get right. Early on in the franchise, no matter what continuity you're looking at, you can call him the proud antagonist. He's the big express engine, the guy looking down on the smaller engines like Edward and Thomas. And yes, he could be insufferable. Smug, arrogant, condescending, all of that stuff. But the beauty of Gordon's character development is that he didn't stay that way. Over time, he mellowed out. He grew wiser. And through conflict, situations, and trials that humbled him, he had to actively learn from them. Especially if we're using the Railway series as a base here. Since, keeping up with Castle seems to pride itself on being the extended Railway series story. So to essentially summarize, he went from arrogant workhorse to someone who can laugh at himself and actually enjoy life. That character growth is simple, but it's also what makes him effective. And what really elevates Gordon isn't just his solo arcs, but his relationships with the other characters. This is what makes him feel like an actual character and not just a punching bag for the writer. With Thomas, he goes from rival to allies, still teasing, still with some friction here and there, but with mutual respect underneath. That's what Paint Pots and Queens was all about. With Edward, he goes from snobby bully to respectful friend overall. With Henry, it's about equality. Henry learns to respect him as a peer instead of treating him like inferior garbage. And even James, who people love to exaggerate as a friendless narcissist, shares this very deep friendship with Gordon. They banter, they argue, they can complain, but when it comes down to it, they've got each other's backs. I mean, look at literally any episode or story ever. 90% of the time, if there's any sort of big engines complaining about something, or big engines arguing with somebody about something, who do you see have each other's backs? It's usually Gordon, Henry, and James. Or at the very least, if Henry's not present for whatever reason, it's Gordon and James. Every fan story has that. Every Railway series pretty much has that. Every Railway series story has that. Majority of TV series episodes have that. Even the CGI series still has that. Even when it gets to the Brenner seasons where everybody's insufferable. So it's even in the Brenner series where Gordon and James are insufferable. To summarize, their dynamics aren't just small little seasoning and details just to kind of sprinkle in every once in a while for a kick. They're the backbone of Gordon's entire character. They show us how far he's come, and they give him emotional weight beyond just he pulls the express. And of course, let's not forget his big moments of growth. Entire stories like Paint Pot in Queens, Gordon and the Engineer, Good to be Gordon. Like, no matter what era you're looking in, there's at least one story where Gordon has that kind of role. Whether he took responsibility for his mistakes, or he had to learn from something and grow. Like, even, like, Leaves, you know, the one with Leaves had that. So, like, I don't understand where this kind of, like, oh, Gordon's just always an insufferable asshole. Like, he's not just a one-note blowhard. He's layered, he's capable of change, and he's earned his place as one of the most respected engines on the railway. That is why Gordon is one of the pillars of the series. Beyond Thomas, Percy, or James, he's the most central character who appears in basically every iteration for like a good chunk of screen time. Sure, he can represent the railway's pride and tradition, but he's also the standard by which the others measure themselves, and over time, he's shown he can both live up to that standard and step down from it when the situation calls for humility or growth, or just even passing on the torch, if you want to count the whole Pip and Emma saga thing. So when a story like Keeping Up with Castle comes along and acts like all that history doesn't exist, when it tosses decades of development and bonds into the trash just to make Gordon the butt of the joke, yeah, that's when I start losing my mind. So after everything I just explained with Gordon, his growth, his friendships, his earned respect, explain to me why Keeping Up with Castle just throws all that out of the window, like... The second Castle shows up, Gordon's so-called friends turned on him instantly, coddling this new guy like he's the second coming of fucking Train Jesus on rails. Gordon isn't treated like a character with history anymore. He's reduced to a jealous diva, whining about ordinary trains, while Castle gets worshipped for breathing. And here's the kicker. This isn't happening early in the timeline, right? This is like after Pip and Emma arrive. After Gordon and Henry have already been through all their arcs and stuff. Henry, Gordon, and James should be close friends. James, who once looked up to Gordon and literally went on strike with him, should be the last person to dismiss him the entire story. Like, sure, at the start, I can understand. But, like, the entire time? Like, not an ounce of sympathy or shred of, like, anything. It's just like, Henry and James both toss him aside like he's some nuisance, invalidating everything they've already been through together. That's not drama, that's not conflict, that's called character assassination. And look, you guys might be like, oh, but Chandler, this is a Thomas the Train story, they all argue with each other, they banter, they bicker, that's the fun of it. Sure, that's like half of the equation, but in a story that's trying to be a more darker, more cinematic, and more serious than your average Thomas tale, it's like, you can't just rely on that. Like, either go for the classic, simple, bedtime story approach, or go with this more cinematic, dramatic retelling. Like, if you want to show Gordon going through, like, a mental crisis because of everything that he's going through and thinking he's going to be replaced, and everybody hates him, and that he's basically just fading out of reality while Castle takes his spot. It's like, if you're going with that as its premise, and you're trying to treat it somewhat seriously with dramatic visuals and music and narration and character reactions, then you have to commit to that. Like, if you're going with that and making Gordon and his relationships with others and how his flaws can, like, harm those relationships and stuff because of what he's going through, like, if you're making that the core focus of the story, like, why not use Henry and James, who, mind you, already get dedicated stories to themselves in this series? Like, why not actually use them and their connections with Gordon to actually, I don't know, make the conflict more interesting? Instead of just having them glaze Castle like he's the best thing that's ever existed. Like, why don't they actually interact with Gordon more? That isn't just only about Castle. Like, why don't they act like as a support system, or he wants to call out Gordon for his actions if you really want to commit to the whole Gordon sucks thing? It's like, they barely do anything. They get filler stories instead of actually contributing to the main plot. And sure, it's not a Henry and James story, but if you're focusing on Gordon, his connections with others, and how his flaws and insecurities can harm that and himself, you know, like, why don't you actually use those connections he has, instead of just giving everything to Castle, the most boring character ever? And it stings even more because this story clearly wants to be darker, more cinematic, more serious than your average Railway series story, which is fine, but if you're going to go down that route, then you can't have Gordon suffering what is basically a mental health crisis, feeling inadequate, feeling replaced, breaking down emotionally, and having everyone ignore it. Like, worse, they actually withhold information about his surprise overhaul, you know, the thing that's causing his big crash out, and then act like he's the problem when he cracks under the pressure. That's not deep, that's not amazing, that's just contrived and mean-spirited writing. Like, if anyone had told them about the freaking overhaul thing, especially when they see Gordon's actually suffering through all this stuff, you know, maybe things would be fine. But okay, whatever, sure, we need a plot, we need a story. Okay, fine. At this point, you might be thinking, oh my god, you're such a hater, Twin. You just hate Soda Castle because he's better than Gordon or some dumbass shit like that. Meanwhile, let's talk about Castle himself, because Castle is exactly the kind of character that Thomas fandom claims to hate. A Mary Sue Oxy, a character with nothing to him, a nothing burger. He's basically a discount Gordon or Spencer. Only instead of being allowed to grow through trials of humility, or just being portrayed as a pompous asshole, he's worshipped as if he's Sodor Saber. So tell me right now, what growth does Castle actually go through in his own story? I'll wait. Yeah, that's right, you can't, because there isn't any. His whole arc is just bantering with Gordon, belittling him, and getting everything handed to him without having to face any real growth, or consequences, or challenges, or like anything. And even when Castle does cross the line, nothing happens. Running the Express in the rain? Totally fine. If Castle doesn't, forging yard orders and overloading Percy with work just to glorify his kind? No problem, apparently. In any other story, Sir Topham Hatt would have chewed him out on the spot. But here, Castle walks away scot-free. Meanwhile, Gordon, or literally anybody else, makes one mistake, even something minor, and they get punished, lectured, and humiliated. Castle is the definition of a Mary Sue OC. He is literally just another steam engine saved from scrap who has an eventful first few, weeks or days on Sodor. He's perfect and amazing and great at all of his jobs he does. And anytime he does have issues or a situation he has to deal with, it's somebody else's fault or something completely out of his control. Not caused by his own arrogance or conflict or whatever. It's just because, oh no, Gordon was mean to me and it's all his fault. It's so stupid because everybody always gets on, for example, the Hit era characters. Everybody complains about, oh my god, Neville's so boring, or oh my god, Molly's so boring, they don't have anything. Castle is a Hit era newbie! He is literally the same as them! There is nothing special about him. The only special thing about him is that he has a fancy PBR model and trains. That's it! He's the golden boy of the Sonora Island forms, beloved not because of depth or development or anything interesting about him, but because he looks cool in trade. And that's what drives me crazy! Gordon is written as if his decades of growth and friendship don't matter, while Castle is treated like the greatest thing to ever hit Sodor just for, I guess, existing? It's hypocritical, it's shallow, and it completely undermines everything that makes Gordon, and by extension the series, actually work. Instead of creating a nuanced, layered character who has something to work with, they instead decide to create a character who is so bland, shallow, and devoid of actual personality beyond being a pompous asshole, yet treating him like he's the greatest thing ever because he's a special created character by a bunch of people on the Sonora Island forums. And that's not good character writing. That's not how you make a good character. If you compare Gordon with Castle, Gordon actually has something to work with. He has layers like an onion! An onion! Castle has nothing! And then we get to the infamous race. Gordon challenges Castle in the pouring rain. Now sure, Gordon isn't in the right here, but Castle just accepts. He's just as reckless, and yet who gets blame? All the blame. Gordon. Who gets lectured? Just Gordon. Who faces consequences? Gordon. And that's where the writing completely collapses. If this is really about Gordon's pride spiraling out of control, then Castle should have been written as a mirror. Someone who also makes mistakes. Someone who can also fall into the same trap. Or better yet, learn a lesson alongside of him. But instead, the writers tilt the table. Every choice, every consequence, every ounce of narrative weight gets dumped onto Gordon's metaphorical shoulders, while Castle just breezes through untouched. What makes it worse is how this undermines Gordon's entire arc. The guy's having a genuine crisis. His identity, his purpose, his place in the railway are all slipping away. And instead of exploring that with nuance, the story sets him up to fail, while Castle gets a free pass for literally everything! It's not conflict, it's just a melodrama. It's character assassination for Gordon, and plot armor for Castle for some reason. You can't invest in a story where the scales are this rigged and laughably bad, because the outcome isn't earned, it's forced! And then as if to rub salt in the wound, characters like Edward, the fandom's other golden boy who could never do anything wrong, outright call Gordon a disgrace. Was Gordon wrong to race in the rain? Absolutely. But Castle made the same exact choice, and no one so much as raises an eyebrow at him. Gordon is hammered with lecture after lecture, treated like the villain of the story, while Castle is handled with silk gloves as if he's some precious child who must never be held accountable. And by the end, Castle doesn't even try to take a moral stance. He just struts in to gloat, sneering at Gordon like any other visiting engine would. If Diesel or Class 40 would have pulled this, the fandom would have lit the smelter's pit and demanded blood. But because it's Castle, no, suddenly it's, oh, Gordon got owned, oh my god, look at Gordon, oh, he's so stupid, and like the behaviors are shrugged off. It's hypocrisy at its finest. Look, the point here isn't that Gordon should have been let off the hook, it's that both engines should have been held to the same standard. If you're gonna frame this as Gordon's downfall, sure, fine, go at it, have at it, twin. But don't dress up Castle as some flawless golden boy and just give him a crown for the same exact mistakes. That's not nuance, that is not clever, that is called bad writing. And look, that's the real problem with keeping up with Castle. It isn't just bad writing, it's biased writing. Gordon isn't allowed to be a character anymore. He's reduced to a scapegoat, a punching bag, a cautionary tale, while Castle is propped up as some flawless golden boy who never has to face the same scrutiny. Across the story, Gordon's decades of growth are all thrown out the window for, like, basically no reason. His friendships with Thomas, James, Henry, and Edward, just, all hollowed out, written to dismiss or belittle him rather than support him or have any sort of nuanced perspective on the situation. His genuine crisis of identity is not played out with empathy or nuance or with the serious that the story would like you to believe it has, but with cruelty, as if the writers just wanted him to fail and be miserable, with no other reason for it. Not because of growth, not to make an interesting character study, like none of that. Just to make Gordon fail, just to prop up their precious little child, Golden Castle over here. Meanwhile, Castle gets the full benefit of plot armor, introduced without depth, worshipped by everyone, never punished for his own recklessness or his actions, and just handed the spotlight Gordon once carried with ease, for no reason. When you stack it all together, the betrayal of Gordon's character, the contrived writing that warps his friends into enablers of Castle's perfection, and the farcical double standard of the race, it all just stops being drama and just becomes hollow spectacle. It's not a story about Gordon wrestling with pride or aging out of relevance. It is simply a story about Gordon being dragged through the mud, so an over-designed OC can look better. And honestly, for a character as central and beloved as Gordon, someone whose journey has always embodied growth, and pride, and humility, and resilience, that's not just disappointing, it's simply bad writing.
Funny enough, I remember watching it when it first came out, and I really liked it. But I realized I liked it because it was all the visuals, music, the voice acting that the video had. Now, in terms of the story itself, oh god. Now, even though I said I liked the finale, I did not like the overall story. In fact, I remember watching Keeping Up with Castle, and I did not like that part. In fact, I would say I borderline hate it. It's because of how the story was structured and what it did to a certain character, Gordon. Now, before we got to the finale, Gordon and Castle each had one screw up. But the story overall establishes Gordon as the villain in this whole saga, whereas Castle is the victim, I guess? I don't know. You don't believe me? Look at every scene that Gordon is in, and then Castle. Everybody, and I mean everyone, there is not a single character that is against Sonora Castle. But Gordon, everybody hates him. They are not on his side. They are constantly teasing, belittling, making fun of him. It's bad when the main character that does all of this is barely doing it. Whereas everybody else, Duck, James, God, they were Oliver too. Henry, Jesus, they were the worst. everyone just defends Sonora Castle. I get Duck and Oliver. Duck, of course. I get why Duck is gonna defend Castle, okay? But everyone defending Castle, they barely know him. He just showed up. And literally, Castle just shows up on the island and is handed over the Express. And, you know, everyone just accepts it. And it's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. You get the Express, you get the keys to our house, you get the pool, you get the gym, you get all of our resources, okay? We're happy to sacrifice everything for you. Why? Because you're Great Western? I'm not sure if anyone here has said this before me, but I'll say it here anyway. I am not a fan of Castle's character. And believe me, I will get to that. So before the finale came out, I had a rough idea for what the general final part was going to be about. Given that this was a fall from grace sort of story for Gordon, at least that's what the story chooses to frame it as, I had assumed that Gordon would have a redemption in this, where maybe Castle is in danger, or breaks down, and the Express is in jeopardy, or the passengers are they are in urgent danger or in need of, the passengers are at stake, basically. And Gordon realizes that some things are more important than a petty feud. And so, maybe even gives up, maybe he even, he gets a chance to set a new record, but he gives it up to save Sonora Castle, like in season 10, It's Good for Gordon, where Gordon gave it all up for Henry, and he may not have gotten a new record, but he got something much better, friendship. I thought that was going to be the finale here, where Gordon learns that he cannot continue going about being prideful and stubborn, and has to realize that that there are some things more important than the Express, like friendship. But it had to come from Gordon. But Gordon was, we already got the fall from grace. We already got Gordon messing up. We already got him, we got the start, the middle, the fall from grace. So now, we're just waiting for the redemption. I mean, it has to happen, right? I mean, the story, it's like Gordon needs some kind of redemption. We can't just have him, just be a dick to everybody, and then Castle just wins all the way to the end, and Gordon's just this feeble old man. It can't be that, right? That's what I assumed, and it logically makes sense, wouldn't it? I'm just saying this because Gordon, at least in the story, Gordon, I would say, is our main character here. He's the one he's the character that learns something, or has to learn something. He's the one with the goal. Gordon is the one with the goal to get his Express back. He's the one that has to fall from grace. I know I'm repeating this, but just shut the fuck up, okay? Gordon is the one that has to fall from grace. And no, I do not fucking count. Castle stopping at a signal does not compare to Gordon nearly tearing his side rods apart in the 5th video part thing. I'm tripping up my words, but goddamn, I'm kind of starting to get angry the more I remember this. Gordon's the one that has a character arc. Gordon literally goes through the 5 stages of grief when it comes to Castle. From denial, anger, grief. I'm messing some of these up, okay? But Gordon goes through a whole goddamn saga of emotions before acceptance. Okay? He started off with denial and it finally ended with acceptance. And Gordon's also the one with something to lose. Every character doesn't have anything to lose, but Gordon does. Gordon's the one that literally is fearing that he will lose his job and purpose, and will be taken over by somebody that, historically, the LNERs have had a rivalry with the Great Western Castle classes. So Gordon losing Express to a castle, man, that would suck. Now, why do I bring all this up? Because the finale as a conclusion is horrible. The story alone, it's incredible. I really did like it when it came out. I really did. It was beautiful. Visuals, voice acting, the music, the shots. You feel the sense of the movement. You feel, these engines really do feel alive. There was so much talent put in and effort put into this. And I was blinded. because of all the visual eye candy, because of the stuff, I thought that, you know, this was good. But as a finale, I can't bring myself to like it because it is not a good finale. It has a weak structure to the point where it is borderline. No, it's not even borderline. It's just straight up abysmal. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but I gotta bring this up. This whole fucking castle, Soda Castle, whatever the fuck you want to call them, saga, it's made me detest Great Western fans even more. Because they are some of the most goddamn annoying people on this planet. And I'm starting to wonder if this whole goddamn Express Engine saga was some Great Western propaganda bullshit that the Dickard Railway Center fucking put rhydyronen up to. I'm genuinely wondering if this was the case. Because the fact that Castle is the fucking Mary Poppins of all Thomas OCs, it blows my mind. And I'm convinced if Gordon had made it to Barrow, he would have won. You cannot tell me that, you know, the way he was moving, that Castle would have beaten him. Because, fuck you, Gordon was moving. He was thundering down the line. Just the speed, the surge in power as he thundered. Not like the fact that Gordon has a weak boiler, and he makes it up the hill without breaking a sweat, and just charges downhill and makes it over to Crovin's Gate. That's what, 70 miles in. That's 70 miles. Literally, just like hauling. How many coaches was it? 6. Yeah, I'm sorry. Fucking Castle's got nothing on him. I've watched Castle doing his run, but like it does not come anywhere close to Gordon and how grand it was. And he finishes it. He finishes all the way to Barrow, and it doesn't even come close to Gordon. It doesn't, because I just don't care for anything Castle does. I don't care for his victory. I don't care for what he's going through. I'm sorry, but I do not give a shit for Soda Castle. I just do not give a shit about Soda Castle. His character is so fucking weak. It blows my mind that this is like when one of my friends told me that Castle has been around as long as his conception was made all the way back in 2002 during the Ghislaine era. It blows my mind that this character has been around for that long, and you mean to tell me in the last 20 plus years, this was the best they could have come up with for his character? Because he has no character. Castle doesn't go through anything. He has no flaws. He has no desires. He has no dreams, no personal ambitions. He has no fears, no trauma. There is nothing to explore with him. Or at least the story chooses not to explore anything with him. Everything that makes Castle interesting is because he has the conflict with Gordon. Gordon is what drives the story because it's his actions that move the plot. It's Gordon's fears that move everything. It was Gordon that caused the trick. Gordon initiated the goddamn rivalry, and that's what kicked off the main plot of this whole saga. He's the one that plays the trick on Castle. He's the one that chooses to engage in the race. He lets his fears get the better of him and chooses to act out on his emotions. He's the one that pushes himself his hardest and breaks down, and the one that learns that the Fat Controller cares about him. We know what Gordon is going through, and honestly, I feel sympathetic towards him because Gordon feels genuine. He has something to lose. We all have something to lose. We are, for fuck's sake, we've lost a lot of stuff in the last goddamn, we as human beings fear, losing the things and people that matter to us. We fear losing it because of how much it means to us or how much we depend on it. Imagine, fearing that you're gonna lose your job tomorrow because your boss's nephew is liked by everybody else and is doing your job, and you're because his arm is fine, and meanwhile you've got a fucking, you got into an accident. You would feel shitty. You would feel fear. You would wonder, like, shit, am I gonna get replaced because of this new guy? That's Gordon. That's what Gordon's going through. I can't bring myself to hate him because when Gordon, hold on, when was this? In the James story, the third fucking part, the others ask, Gordon is, he keeps everything to himself. He doesn't bitch and moan to the others. And the others are like, oh, what's wrong, Gordon? So Gordon opens up and talks to them. He's just like, I fear losing my job. And what do the others do? They fucking laugh at him. They laugh at him. Gee, I wonder why Gordon acts like a fucking prick, because anytime he gets to be vulnerable, or just chooses to be vulnerable, because he thinks the others are gonna be sympathetic, they fucking laugh at him. Imagine if these were your fucking colleagues. I would fucking leave. I would quit. Because how can you trust these people? Jesus. Like, it's hard to feel bad for Gordon, and it's hard to get on the other side when they were the ones that weren't there for Gordon. And every time, you see Gordon act out, it's usually because, it's something, rarely he's the one that starts it up for no reason. It's usually because of somebody else that's starting something up. Like, for God's sake, in that one scene at the junction, in the 5th part, Thomas literally was like, Thomas was being such a fucking little shit, and was like, no wonder why he's chosen him to be the new Express. And Gordon is literally on the verge of having a goddamn mental breakdown, and he just fucking cracks, and he snaps, and just goes after Sonora Castle. He is at his breaking point. It's hard to feel bad. You can say Gordon, made mistakes, but I can't bring myself to dislike him in this whole thing, because I get where he's coming from. But Sonora Castle, I don't fucking give a shit about him, because I don't know what the hell he's going through. Because he's not going through shit. He's not going through anything. He's not struggling. Castle is the spoiled rich fucking brat that literally gets everything just because it's the fucking Harry Potter bullshit, okay? Where it's like, in the fucking Harry Potter universe, everybody bows down to Harry and gives him everything because sorry, your parents got zapped by this magical, creepy uncle dude and left you a scar. So since you're an orphan, we're gonna treat you everything. At least with Harry Potter, he had like a shitty childhood, so it's like, okay, fine, fair enough, okay? It's someone, okay, we can understand why. But Sonora Castle, you can't even feel bad for him and say, he had it rough on the other railway. Bitch, he arrived on Sodor, and he wasn't even owned by the NWR, and Charles Hatt was like, this random, oh my god, it's a Great Western engine. Oh, my father loved to glaze these engines so much. Tell you what, I'm just going to steal you and put you in my works and rebuild you because I love the Great Western Experience, God's wonderful railway. If God came here right now, he would buy you personally to be his heavenly owned engine, because Great Western is superior to everything else, because as we all know, the Great Western is the best. Great Western this, Great Western this, great fucking hell, Jesus. My god, Castle wasn't owned by the NWR, and Topham was just decided to just bring him in, and just restore him. Why? Oh, because he felt like it? It doesn't feel genuine, because okay, so if Castle's coming here, if engines from the other railway are coming here, are they getting the same treatment? Does Topham just look at every engine that arrives on Soda from British Railways and go, I'm gonna restore all of them? Or was he just feeling exceptional with Castle just because he was Great Western? I guess Topham just has favorites. I guess he just has favorites. I just want to point out that genuinely, I am so mad. This character, this fucking disgusting character, makes me mad to the point where I had written my notes. I have my notes sitting right next to me, and I'm not even looking at them right now because I'm relying purely because when you think you have everything to say about this character, you just remember something else, and it just makes you more mad. You mean to fucking tell me this whole goddamn thing could have been resolved from the beginning if Topham wasn't being such a fucking dumbass and decided, hey Gordon, I'm gonna bring this new character over. I'm gonna bring this new engine over, and he's gonna help you out with your express. So that, because your boiler's getting on, and I don't want you to overdo it. Otherwise, you know, it could overcomplicate your overhaul. I need you to take it easy, so that way when your new boiler comes over, we can restore it, we can give you an overhaul, and you'll be much more powerful than ever. Oh, okay, so no problem. If that happened, this story wouldn't have happened at all. Topham was such a dumbass for not telling Gordon. What pisses me off about the apology is the fact that Topham, not directly, but, you know, was basically trying to get the two engines to make up, you know, for their quarrels. And this just doesn't feel natural. It's the fucking Day of the Diesels problem all over again, where Topham just yells at his engines and and forces them to apologize and make up, and then they put together everything together. Instead of letting Gordon and Castle come to their own conclusions and realizing that they were both being idiots and they have to learn to accept each other. And it's not even that at all, because because it would have made sense for Gordon. Like, the problem is, I'm confused with the structure of this. That's my biggest problem with this whole goddamn saga, not just this finale. I am the structure, the story structure. Whoever wrote this, I know you probably displayed the credits, but I'm sorry, but I did not. But honestly, the writing was so shit. You're lucky I don't remember your name right now, because I'm sorry. Whoever wrote this, whoever, from what I understand, the script was the story was changed as well. So whoever was in the writing department, I'm sorry, but you gotta do better next time, because holy shit, you fucked up royally with the structure. And I might as well get to that, because holy shit, this doesn't make any sense in the slightest. We start off with a Henry story that has absolutely nothing to do with Gordon and Castle. It's literally just Henry fucking around on the Peel Godred line with Harold. Then we get a Castle flashback story, which, okay, this is Castle's origin story. Except Castle doesn't say anything until the end, where you know, it's like, oh yeah, I got my name blind, thank you, and then he talks to Bear, and he's just a fucking jackass. Okay, great. You know, so we learned that Castle was one of the engines on the other railway, was treated poorly. Now he gets, then he gets a fucking repaired for no reason, just because, you know, Topham really couldn't keep the Great Western Glaze out of him. Okay, so he gets repaired, and he's got new nameplates for some reason, and then he just fucks off back to the mainland, and then he comes back. So, I don't like, if we had to start here, okay, so I get the flashback story, but we learned practically nothing about Castle other than he was a super secret restoration project, which is basically SIF's way of saying this is how we make him Rally Series canon into the Rally Series universe, and just, you know, make him be super secret, and that's why he wasn't in any of the books. I mean, okay, cool, whatever, fine, whatever. But Castle, again, as a character, is so fucking weak in this because he does jack shit. It'd be one thing if he was a rude, foul-mouthed engine that fucked up in the past, and then when he comes back, he wants to redeem himself, or I don't fucking know. You know, just anything is better than just getting a nothing burger of an NPC. Then we get to the James story, which is a James story that has, again, nothing to do with Castle shows up, okay, and then we've just transitioned into James getting covered in paint, and then he's sent back to the works, and then finally at the very end we get to the main story of this, which is Gordon and Castle's rivalry. Why did it take us 3 parts to get us to the main conflict of the story? Doesn't it make more sense to set up the conflict at the very beginning? Why did we need a Henry story? Why couldn't they have done more with expanding on Castle's origins? And what I mean by that, I mean expanding on his character. I mean, for all we know, Castle could have killed somebody on the Great Western Railway, and, you know, for all we know, Topham might just restored a murderer. I don't know. Maybe Castle didn't do that, but at this point, I wouldn't put anything past him. Because again, in that episode alone, we know nothing about him. Nothing. We just know that in the end, it's like, oh, thank you, sir, please, I'm so grateful, thank you. So we know he's a happy, nice guy. Gee, I wonder what character that is also nice and happy in Thomas and Friends. I can't think of any. I just cannot think of any. Again, I'm so confused on what this is meant to be. Because I don't know if this is a Gordon story where it's a fall from grace, because it feels like it wants to be that, but then the finale plays off like, you know, oh, Sodor, Castle, and Gordon were both fucking up. And both were, you know, in disgrace. If they were both in disgrace, how come everybody's still treating Castle like he's the second coming of Christ? And they're just giving Gordon the fucking hobo shack treatment. You know, or just the shanking treatment where they're just stabbing Gordon whenever they can. Gordon and Castle were not treated equally. As in, they were not treated as both of them had fucked up. They both made up. I really just want to make it clear that I don't dislike Castle because other people like it. I dislike Castle because he is a weak character. He is not a compelling character because, as I said before, everything that makes Castle interesting is because of Gordon. Gordon is what makes Castle interesting. And when you take Gordon away, you're just left with nothing with Castle. I don't give a shit about Castle's confusion, whatever, because you know, like, I get, like, in that story he was cocky and, you know, a fucking asshole. I'm just wondering, why didn't they just use that more in Express Engines? That would have been perfect. Castle, Sodor Castle, fucking Jeffrey Epstein looking ass bitch. My mind feels nothing but rage right now that I'm just genuinely struggling to keep track of the script I've written, because I forget how much I've said this. I probably have been saying this more. Castle, I don't think anyone understands this. Castle makes me so mad. He is such a weak character. His stories are abysmal. He is literally, quintessentially, the CEO's bratty, spoiled fucking son that shows up to your office, pisses in the fucking drawers, shits everywhere all over on the goddamn walls, and then fucks off, and then your boss blames you because, who would ever believe, because, you know, fuck the employees, right? Gordon, that's literally how it feels watching Castle. Castle has nothing to lose. Castle was already preserved. He was already pampered and spoiled before even working on Sodor. Quite in fact, he was already pampered and spoiled before he was even, in the goddamn flashback, when he was still working on British Railways. Topham literally, as I said before, decided out of his own fucking good-hearted kindness and abandoning Great Western Glaziness bullshit, decided to fucking restore Castle for no reason, just because he was Great Western. I guarantee you, if Sodor Castle was an LNER engine, Sir Topham would have scrapped him just because he thought LNER engines were disgusting. Oh my god, but like, Castle literally just touched Sodor's soil, and Topham instantly decided that it was worth spending £7 million to restore this Jeffrey Epstein looking like goofy guy nerd bitch. Or, you know, not even to keep him on this railway, just because he just felt like it. And before any of you go, oh, but Castle was in danger of being scrapped. Literally every character since Toby was in danger of being scrapped. Toby, Donald, Douglas, and Oliver, and yet they had to earn their place on the railway. Castle didn't prove his worth or earn anything. He was just handed over the Express, and everyone told Gordon to go kill himself. Hashtag justice for Gordon. I am sorry, but Gordon was catching grenades from everybody. Henry, James, Oliver, fucking Edward, Topham, and Thomas. Everyone. And believe it or not, it wasn't even Gordon's fault, because as I said before, Gordon was worried about losing his job, and he was vulnerable, and he didn't want to talk about it because he thought the others would make fun of them. But everyone was like, oh no, Gordon, please tell us what's wrong. And so Gordon tells him, like, guys, I think I might be losing my job. Oh, you're freezing retirement! You shall kill yourself! They fucking laugh at him. How the fuck can these fucking clowns call him his friends? Like, how can you call these clowns your friends? How can they call Gordon their friend? Like, I'm sorry, if your friend was vulnerable about him losing his job, would you fucking laugh at him? Or would you fucking be like, let's say, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna give your Xbox account, your Fortnite account, your house, your goth girlfriend, all your Wooden Railway collection. I'm gonna give them to Joe Nathan the third because he was actually conceived at Swindon, and so that's why he deserved everything because God decided he had to be born at Swindon, so therefore he deserves everything. You should kill yourself because you were born at Doncaster. As we all know, Doncaster is evil, so therefore you have to die. I would have burned Timoth down if I was Gordon that night at the sheds. He wasn't reacting enough. Now, yes, Gordon made several mistakes, was flawed, and tricking Castle was a dick move regarding the signal thing. And yes, he was even the one to challenge Castle and try to get him into racing on the main line during the rain. But if you mean to tell me that Castle was a victim and all that, you are fucking bullshitting me and you are in denial. Because Castle fucking agreed to do the goddamn race anyway. Like, I'm sorry, you can't play victim here when you agreed to the race. That makes you equally bad. Sure, the other guy initiated, but you don't go fucking ahead and encourage him. And in fact, you were even at worst. You're carrying a goddamn high-speed, high-profile train. Castle, you stupid motherfucker. What were you thinking? Gordon, every time he fucked up, it felt like he was being tied to a tree and being held at gunpoint. And top of him was about to fucking pull out, a fucking AK-47 and just fucking go ballistic. It's just shooting bullets everywhere at Gordon's chest until there's nothing left, literally, but dust. Rhydyronen, if you're hearing this, I really hope you understand where we are coming from with our opinions. We respect if you disagree with what we have said, but please understand that this wasn't made with spite in mind towards you. This is a genuine critique from all of us on how we feel about this character. And whatever you do with Brad for the upcoming future, I absolutely hope that regarding the story, Brad's actions are what move the story, and not the world moving for Brad. Please, do not give us another Sodor Castle.
When I tell y'all I genuinely hate this nigga Castle, I mean I genuinely hate this nigga Castle. And like I said beginning, this isn't scripted, and I don't even care if my mic peaks, bro. Like, this shit is actually pissing me off with this character. Alright, so, like, Castle himself, he's nothing. He sucks, bro. And the stories that come with it suck. All in targeted to make Gordon be painted in a bad shadow where he looks like the bad guy and he's the one that's doing all the wrong. When really, that just doesn't work like that. And like the moment Castle first, okay, let's start with when Castle first arrives and then we'll build our way up from the stories, from my memory. Okay, the real problem lies with SIF itself. Because you guys have just currently seen the visual adaptation, so we've gone through all 6 of the stories. But I want you to keep in mind, the originals, there's only 4 of them. 2 are add-ons written quickly for this. Who wants to take a guess on what they are? I bet you thought Keep Up Castle was one of them, which you'd be right. That's just filler. You want to take a guess on what the other one is? If you guess Pay Problems, you're wrong. If you guess Blowback, you're wrong. It's fucking Wonder of the Works, the one that's supposed to be Castle's backstory. That's the one that is fucking written on the dot. And you know what makes it worse? It goes like this: Blowback, Paint Problems, 4-time Unlucky, then Express Engines. I see a problem. And you wanna know what the problem is? That backstory is gone now. And it's not even like Paint Problem starts exactly how the visual starts. Castle just fucking snaps into existence. We don't know who picked up his reboot card to get him on the railway. He's just there now. And it's like, that's not, now we don't know where he comes from. There's nothing to him. There's no struggle. It's not like there was a struggle to begin with, but there's no struggle. There's nothing to him. He's nothing. He's just pure shit. That is what he is. He is just dirt. Oh, I forgot I said we're gonna go in order. Henry's story is bullshit. There is nothing to that. That added nothing. That is nothing. I don't know who thought that was a bright idea to write that and put that in expression. Just like, oh, look at my Gordon Castle. Let's put Henry at the front. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Like, that story has nothing. It drives nowhere. It gets nowhere. It's just Henry. Holy shit. Ooh. It's just Henry fucking around on a Peel Godric ranch line the entire fucking time, getting harassed by Harold the fucking helicopter. That's all that story is. And then you get to Wonder the Worst, where it's like, okay, you know, that's a backstory, right? Oh, Castle's got some struggles, right? Wrong. You'd be so wrong. He does not go through anything in that story. All he is, oh, I'm a dirty goods engine. British Railways forgot he existed. So like, and then like, oh man, this engine. And then Tom was like, you know, oh, I love me the Great Western engines. Yeah, I love me the Great Western engines. Yep. Yeah, I love me some Great Western engines. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna restore you, despite you're not even my property. I'm just gonna do it because I fucking feel like it. And that is just the whole motive on why fucking Castle is even restored in the first place. Just because Topham fucking feel like it. Like, you can't make this shit up. This is the most peeving shit ever. What sense does this make? What sense does this make? This is the best we could come for a backstory? Are we serious right now? Oh. And then there's paint problems. Keep in mind, like I said in the beginning, the original track list, Blowback, then paint problems. Paint problems starts exactly how it does in the visual. Castle just poof, he's there. So you know, when this originally first came out, no one knew who got his reboot card. But like, yeah, and then he just spawns here. He's like, oh, I'm Sonora Castle. Everyone loves Sonora Castle. And then like, oh, we love Sonora Castle. And everyone just shuns Gordon. And like, even then, like, even before that part, Gordon's like, oh, I'm scared someone might take my job. And then James has to be like, ha, you fucking shook, you fucking fat. Go hang yourself on the shoulder suspension bridge while you're at it. And it's like, yo, what the fuck? And this isn't just a James thing. This is an everyone thing. Everyone in these stories do it. Everyone. And this isn't even a one-time thing. This is a recurring thing in the rest of these fucking stories. And you can't defend this. It gets to a point where you can't defend anything they say. It's not like you could defend it before, but you genuinely just can't defend it when it comes to what they're saying in these stories. And then like, oh, let's do something where we have just Gordon and Castle. So, you know, they slime James at Barrow for some reason. Yeah, it takes like a few weeks for James to be repaired. Mind you, all he got was paint buckets on him. I don't know why it takes that long. But oh my god. What's the next story after that? 4-time unlucky. I guess Castle has the Express. Yippee hooray. And then when Gordon expresses his feelings like, oh, a new engine's taking over my job now. Of course, Duck the Glazer wants to be like, oh, shut the fuck up, nigger. No one cares, nigger. And it's like, yo, hey, wait. I don't think you should just dismiss this. But no. Everyone just plays it off like, oh, Gordon's just being dramatic. He's being a sissy pissy. And it's like, you can't really like go against Gordon because it's like he's just being degraded by everyone that I've known for years. They're switching up on him. And then what's the next story? Oh, fucking hell. Keeping up with Castle. Oh my god, don't even get me started with this bullshit. There's a whole rant part I'm gonna go over it when I go over characters, because I'm gonna talk about who's the worst out of all of them. Okay. But like, the whole rivalry thing, okay, whatever. Then you get Darby filler. No one likes Darby. Darby can hang himself for all I care. That nigga can genuinely just go eat cement as far as I can care. And then, like, Gordon goes racing the ring with Castle because Castle agrees. Yeah, keep in mind, let me say it closer to my mic. Castle, he agrees. Castle agrees. A-G-R-E-E. Agrees to do this. But you know, let's just take that part out. Oh yeah, fuck Gordon. Let's get him told off by Topham. Let's do that instead. And then what's next? Oh, and then there's the finale, the goated finale, guys, where it's just like nothing. Gordon and Castle argue the whole time, and then Henry was like, "Oh my fucking god, just race." Why are you annoyed? Why are any of you annoyed? All of you gaslit this to begin with. So it shouldn't be a surprise it led to these two fighting every night in the shed. This is something all of you guys brought up. All of you. From James down to fucking Oliver. All of you brought this to the rise. All of you. And then it doesn't make sense with the time trials itself. Okay, you're penciled in, Gordon's penciled in, yeah, whatever. But then Gordon's charter tells him, "Oh, we gotta slow down."
Bitch, what the fuck is the point of doing the trial then? What the fuck is the point? If Gordon can't get up to speed and outrun Castle, because we know he can do that, bitch, what the fuck is the point? What is the point, nigga? Hello? Like, what the fuck is the point? Why would you agree to do this if you say, oh, we can't go fast?
And then this nigga Gordon, then fine, I'll just talk about it. Castle and I finished. Mommy, I finished. Nigga, shut the fuck up. No one cares about you. No one likes you, bro. Bro, I hope, bro, hang yourself, bro. Jesus Christ. And then now we get to Gordon run. I want you to keep in mind, that nigga was hauling ass down the main line. I don't care what anyone says. That nigga would have had it in the bag. That nigga was hauling ass just to save his life. He had that shit. He even got over the nitrogen double hills. Oh yeah, that nigga had that in the bag. He would have been boom, bop, bang. He would have won. Easily he would have folded Castle. But no, for plot convenience, he has to burst the cylinder. Like, what? And then here's the part where, my blood begins to boil. Then Gordon's driver wants to say, "Oh man, if only we had that new boiler." Bitch, what? New boiler? Hello? Kay? Where was this? Where was this 4 stories ago? Why am I only now hearing about a new boiler? Are we serious? So there's so many problems with just that new boiler part alone. Topham didn't think to tell Gordon about the new boiler. And just leave him in suspense? Oh, but it was a surprise. No. And then it gets worse because it's on the driver now. Keep in mind, he agreed to do these trials, knowing that Gordon had a bad boiler and was due for a new one. And he knew that he was getting that new one. You agreed to let these time trials go on, knowing that your engine had a bad boiler. And then you want to act surprised when Gordon breaks down. This is on you. You caused all this to happen. Because you want to be on that bullshit and say, "Oh yeah, let's go through." You should have said, "Nigga, no. We're not doing it. I don't care how petty you two are, we are not doing it. You had the option to say no, but you said no. Oh, let's do it. He's penciled in. Oh, yes, sir. Let's do that run. Oh, yes, sir. Like, what? What sense does that make? You knew he was getting a new boiler, and you thought the best way, oh yeah, let me strain out this one. Let's strain this boiler out. What the fuck are you on? Oh my god, bro. Like, oh my fucking god. Oh my god. This just makes me more angry. Okay. And then there's the apology. The forced apology. First off, why would... You know it's really forced when Edward takes Gordon all the way back to Tin Sheds. All the way back to Tin Sheds. Because there's no need. Everyone knows there would be no need. Why would he leave the works to go to Tin Sheds just to have a forced apology for plot? Then they pull the gay-ass train or whatever. And then that's how it ends. Stupid after credit scene, but I don't give a shit about it. This shit pissed me off already. You know what? While we're at it, just for me to get more pissy points out of Castle, let's go over Castle's confusion. You know what? No, that title alone is the first problem. Why is the first story in a book about Ginty and Brad about fucking Castle? That makes no sense. There is no correlation. This is not supposed to relate to him in the slightest. Why are we just bringing him into this? You're dragging him now, my nigga. You're dragging him. And for what purpose? For what purpose? Hello? Like, there was no point. But let's get to the actual story then. So, if there's a harbor being built, yeah, whatever. Okay, sure. And then Castle does the dickish thing ever, because he's a fucking colonizer and decides, oh, Percy's a Western engine, so he should only do the Western jobs for the Westerns. Am I right? Like, bro, at this point, just form the WWW, bro. And it's like, yo, hello? So he purposefully fucked up Percy's work just because, he's working on a branch line run by a Southerner? I don't think so. You're going to the Western part. Bitch, what? It's like, I got my branch lines confused. No, you knew exactly what you were doing. Because in that time frame, when Castle wasn't owned by Topham, you're not telling me he did not know what the books were. You are not telling me he did not know what the Thin Clergyman's books were. He definitely would have seen that. And if he would have seen that, he would have known that Percy is a Farquhar engine. There's no way in hell you're telling me he didn't know about the Thin Clergyman books. I refuse to believe that. And then, like, he just says the dickish thing ever. When he's confronted by Percy, he says, I just thought you were a misfortunate Great Western engine. What does that mean? What are you trying to say about him? But we just laugh it off, and then when one of the Diesels comes saying, I had to do Percy's work, we laugh at it again. But no, shit's just sweet, apparently. It's sweet. Because, like, fucking bro, 25% on Percy for not even taking the train back after Diesel had to come and do the work for him. Not even 50. 75% on fucking Castle. He caused this whole thing in the first place. For what? For Western pride? Like what? Are we slow? Just for Western pride? That's the whole reason? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Oh, you know what? Since we're at the end, oh yeah, you know what? That's our new character for Castle now. He has nothing in Express Engines, but when it's a book not about him, we learn he's a fucking asshole. And you know, he'll do anything just for the Western, even just fucking fuck up other engines' work for the love of the Westerns, right? For the love of the Westerns. Like, Castle is just nothing. He's nothing, bro. Oh my fucking god. He's nothing, bro. And the railway, bro, they write him as the golden boy. Like, he can do nothing wrong. And when he did something wrong, the whole whistle shit. When he did something wrong with that, oh, Tom's like, oh, bad Castle, and just slaps him on the wrist. Like, hello? And it's like, and you can't say, oh, but cheeky. Oh, but it was one of Castle's first days. You gotta let him slide, bro. It was one of his first days. Bullshit. First day for an engine doesn't mean shit. You know what happened on first day for engines in the Railway series? James crashed in your field. Okay, well, no, the second day for him or whatever. Fucked up Topham's top hat. Put a hole in the coaches. You know what happened to him? Shut in the shed. You know what else happened to someone on the first day? Sir Handel. First day he got to the Scarlet Railway, insulted the coaches. Second day, split in between the rails. You know what happened to him? Got shut in the shed. Right away. Didn't control, does not play any games. Shut him right in the shed. You know who else got trouble and got put in the shed? Bert. After he soaked the visitor, put right in the shed. Straight to the shed. No hesitation. Straight to the shed. It was raps. This is not a first day jitters kind of shit. It's just to make your OC look good and the most friendly engine and the most loved by everyone. And for no reason. Only SIF. Only fucking SIF. Like, this is only something they could do, bro. Like, the writing for Express Engines is just straight shit, bro. Like, I'm trying to remember who. If it's that nigga Ryan H that wrote it, fuck him. First off, no one likes Ryan H in the first place. First off, fuck him indefinitely. I don't care. You know, you're just shared right. Let me say this loud and clear. You suck ass at writing stories for Thomas the Tank Engine and friends. Like, genuinely. Like, no. Someone sent me a checklist on what Castle needed, and Castle fit all these critiques for an SIFOC. He has to be good and everything. Yeah, he did that. He can do nothing wrong. Oh, he definitely. Duck is his best friend. Save from scratch. Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, if he has an actual character and personality, slime him. Okay, so he doesn't have that, so he's safe. Gets special treatment from every other character. Yeah, he fits that. Okay. And seemingly, you know, this is a requirement for if you film something for SIF. You know, you gotta give me Liberty, Fire, and Private Trains models. Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, there's another checklist. Now. Castle, he fits the bill with all these. Let's read these out loud. Okay, there's 0 good stories. Yeah, okay. 0 character dynamics. Yeah. 7 pedophiles on the writing team. You know, shout out to Rando. He just might be onto something with this shit. Low key, he just might be onto something with this shit. I'm finding that so hard not to believe. I find it very difficult not to believe. So you know what? Shout out to Rando, because that nigga's on the case when it comes to this shit. But besides that checklist, as well, Castle just does nothing. He serves no purpose to Sodor, really. Because what is he really gonna do? Oh, Gordon's got his new boiler now. What is he gonna do afterwards? What does he serve? Oh, Gordon has a new boiler. He's stronger than ever. He's the strongest. The boiler was specifically described to make Gordon the strongest engine on the line. So once he has that, there's no need for Castle. What's he gonna do now? That's right. He's gonna do nothing. He's going to bitch and do nothing. He is worth nothing. He is not worth anyone's time. He should hang himself. And his stupid, proddy little voice, he should hang himself. Okay, so now that we got most of my frustrations with Castle out the way, let's go from characters best to worst. The characters that I hate the least to the ones I hate the most. So, the hating the least, this was kind of, of course it was tough, because everyone fucking sucks. We'll only do engines up, top them. Ooh, the driver and fireman. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I would slime the shit out of them. But we'll just do engines for this. This was a very difficult one. Actually, no, it's not. This isn't difficult because I just thought of someone. The ones that I hate the least, Donald and Douglas. Yeah, that's right. I pulled that shit. They only had one scene. Actually, no, they're tied. They're tied in with third place. Wendell. Those three, don't hate them. Not a single bad bone in my body for those three. I have no problems. They can just fly in the... I don't give a shit about them. Well, I don't give a shit about them. I like them. They did nothing wrong. Stayed as normal characters. You know, I might as well add Harold the helicopter to that too. Harold didn't do anything wrong either. Harold was cool. Harold was cool. Oh, and you know what? Let me add Shane Dewey, who appeared in the background of Blowback. He ain't say shit. No one even knew he was there, but yeah. And I'm not even sure if that's Shane Dewey. That could be Cody for all I know. Okay. Get to the ones I actually don't like. Oliver. He's only here because he doesn't really do anything. He's not as bad as the others on this list. But I'm just putting him here just because he's not innocent into this. He's not innocent. He says the most tamest stuff. He's not innocent though. So that's all I have to say for Oliver. Edward. Ooh, I fucking hate Edward in this shit, bro. He only has 3 lines of dialogue throughout this entire book. I hate him, bro. And you know, he glazes castle, one of the castle glazers. But it really gets me with that scene at Wellsworth. The fact that you took the time, the fact that you really coerced the words to call Gordon an engine you've known for years, watched him grown up and everything, call him a disgrace. Specifically him, not even saying, oh, both your castle are disgraces. No, specifically Gordon is a disgrace to Sodor kind. That's absolute lunacy. Like, who are we feeling like? But I digress with Edward. He's like one of the least offenders aside from Oliver. Well, actually no, Oliver is like the least offender. Donald and Douglas really are, but you know, I'm getting sidetracked. Number 3. I lost count. The one that I hate even more after Edward, I hate Henry. I fucking hate Henry in this shit, bro. Henry's a bitch, bro. He's a straight dick to Gordon. And it's not on the level of some other engines, but he's just a dick. He's a straight up dick, bro. And for no good reason. He's just a dick. Just to be a dick. I just hate him. I don't like him. He's so unlikable in this. And then we get on to the next one. James. These are the top 3 worst now. James, number 3. And I'm not even sure if I stick with this because him and number 2 flip-flop back and forth. James. Oh my fucking god, I hate James in this. He is such a pretentious asshole to Gordon for no reason. When Gordon says he's about to be replaced, ha ha, suck it up. That's why you're going to die, bitch. Like, that's not what a friend would say. And, you know, back to Henry, those two swap up on Gordon real quick. Mind you, they've been through the back burners and everything with Gordon. They were there, they went down together. If one went down, they all went down. They went down for the strike. They went down to kick Duck out the sheds. They led the indignation meetings. All of that. Poof. The moment Castle appears, poof. Fuck that shit. It don't matter. Castle's here. He's better than you. Kill yourself. Like, huh? Oh my god. And then he instigates. Before he gets slimed by the blue paint, he instigates, bro. Even when he gets back from the works and then ends the scene that Tender sheds, he instigates more. I can't with James. He's a fucking snake, bro. And then we got the number 2 spot, like the second worst, Duck. I got a lot to say about Duck. Duck is like the worst of the worst. He's like the biggest castle glazer, and I mean the biggest castle glazer in all of Sodor history. This nigga rides on his meat up and down, hopping dick when it comes to this nigga. Just straight up on his coupling every day, like, oh yes castle. And like, it's like, bro, even the smallest thing, Duck will be the first one at Castle's defense. It's not even like Gordon's like even saying, oh, no wonder he was about to get scratched or something. No, just something where Gordon's talking about himself. It's like, oh shut up, you're just jealous that Castle's better than you. Bitch. What? Like, he's so quick to go against Gordon for Castle. Like, he will die for Castle. He's a dick eater for Castle, all because he's Great Western. Like, are we serious, Duck? Oh my god. Like, bro will genuinely, like, start a market. Like, bro, like, he would genuinely say some, oh, yes, Castle, my glorious King Castle, my glorious Castle. Here, take my auto coaches. You deserve them more than me. Like, are we serious? Only when an express engine of his railway heritage shows up. Only because of that. Like, we can't be serious, gang. How low have we fallen? All for some castle class? Bro, you don't look cool for that. Alright, but there's probably more on Duck, but you know, we'll leave it from there. The number 1 spot. Let me get close to my mic for this one. Thomas the fucking Tank Engine. I hate him with all my heart. This nigga, he had one scene. He had one scene, and he's automatically the biggest op. Biggest, and I mean biggest. I hate that nigga. I hate everything about him just from that one scene where he fucking instigated that shit. For what purpose? Just to be a shed? And let's remember the whole thing before the Down the Mine Alliance. Thomas will be, yes, Thomas has like teased Gordon in the past, but he'd be smart enough not to say some shit like this. Like, are we serious? It's like, oh, he didn't mean it. There is no he didn't mean it. He shouldn't have said it at all. Thomas doesn't look cool. He just looks like a bitch. He looks like a prick. He looks like an asshole. He's a dick, bro. Just from that one line alone. And it sucks even more because it's not even like, oh, it's like the decade-old writing or wherever that does this. No, this is Kicking Up with Castle. This is the fresh story. Thomas doesn't even exist in the original. This is, oh my god, bro. Oh, Thomas actually hurts my brain with this shit, bro. I genuinely wish he was fucking slaughtered to death, bro. Like, he's an actual nuisance, bro. Like, he actually is a straight menace for no reason. And you said it just to say it. Like, it's not like, oh, it was just a mistake. No, you said that because that was rude as shit. You knew that. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god. As a whole, bro, Express Engines is just dog shit. I'm not even gonna lie. I saw on Twitter by fuck ass Jace saying that defending this, saying that the reason for why these stories are like this is the 20-year-old, almost 20-year-old writing that comes from this shit. Here's the thing though. That's not an excuse at all. Like, that's just not an excuse for how bad these stories are. 20-year-old writing, that does not mean shit. Like, I'll tell you, because, like, keep in mind, these stories went through multiple drafts. And this is your final? And then let me ask you this. For almost 20 years, before rhydyronen even got to filming, 20 years, keep in mind, the big 2-0, I gotta do this again, 20 years, like Duke being trapped in the shed time, you had all that time to rewrite those stories, and you chose not to. That was your proud final result. You chose not to do that. All that time you could have made Castle better, an actual likable character. Well, he doesn't have to be likable, with an actual character. You chose not to. You said, "Yep, that's the final result, guys." We can't be fucking serious. Like, are we serious? This is like, oh my god, this is actual horse shit, bro. Oh, this book pisses me off. But yeah, that's all we have with this book. I'll do the closing now. I might as well. I wanna thank you all for watching this video about me and my dear friends all rattling and railing and screaming about Express Engines. As one of my friends, as Michael said, rhydyronen, if you are watching this is no hate towards you. Of course, you did the best you could with the source you were provided, and you I could say you did well in that. Visuals, editing, of course, you knocked out the park with your part in that, with editing and filming. The writing, right? Oh, the writing team on that. Honestly, I've seen better writing from fucking what's that channel called again? Toys Transfer. You guys know what the channel is. I'm gonna put it up on screen. I've seen better writing from them than Express Engines, so that's really saying a lot. But that's it, guys. Yeah. All right, I will see you all in the next video. This is like one of the biggest projects I've done. 6 months in the working. 6 months. 6 months in the working. Yeah. I will see you guys in another video. Make sure to subscribe to all these people that were in here. All right, goodbye, everyone. And I'm sorry too, Gordon.
I think I know how we can really make amends. Oh yes, Gordon, get closer. Oh yes, Gordon. Oh yes, Gordon. Oh, right there, Gordon. Yes. Oh, yes, Gordon. Oh yes, Gordon. Yes, Gordon.